Go on.
Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. And here on the show again tonight, I have Unilda joining me.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
And our presenter, Gavin Alexander.
Fabulous to be back again. I made it through to my second week.
We allowed him back.
Absolutely delighted
We
with
said
that.
yes, we want him.
Yeah. Excellent. Guys, what has been going on at BQ Watches this week?
What has been going on? Crazy week.
I think it's been the busiest week in
Yeah.
ages.
Every week, more and more going on. Platinum Daytona left us this week. Also, the Snoopy departed.
Oh, that didn't hang around for very long.
That didn't. Daytonas are going crazy. We're trying to get stock in for everyone. Pateks, we've only got a sort of green Aquanaut left at the moment. Just everything. You know, it's just very, very busy.
I saw a very interesting watch on your desk when I came in for a chat. Obviously, I didn't get 10 seconds with you because you're always too busy. But I saw there was a really lovely, was it a Lionel Messi?
Leo
Messi.
Yeah, that's something the guys will see up. Basically, it's one of 400 pieces made by AP. It's rose and sort of grey metal. I'm not sure the exact metal. Do you know what it was on that?
I'm not sure. It has the grey strap matching with
it's
the
got
dial.
a strap, rose gold. So it's Leo Messi, one of 400 pieces.
One of 400 pieces worldwide, manufactured, not signed or anything like that.
There's almost, I was looking, there's nothing in the UK at the moment.
No.
So we've got one of those. So that'll be
going to be on our website very soon. It's an amazing
but beautiful
one.
piece. Beautiful.
Fantastic. Is it brand new or?
No, because it was made in 2012.
Oh, right. Okay. So
pieces.
It's, Okay.
Yeah.
Now, guys, as per last week, if you have any questions you'd like to ask us, I have a host of computers in front of me. I'm going to say good evening to a few people. Red Shovel, evening all. We have Tim Blackford, who's joined us already, and Kelvin with an evening all, and Giza, Tantalum. Oh, Tantalum.
Yes, Tantalum.
Thank you. So it's good to watch a watch show with watch experts, and nobody actually knows the watch, and we can rely on that.
I didn't get a chance. Look, that's a material I've seen in Hublot. It's amazing. It's sort of a cross between rubber and metal. Tantalum. Yeah, okay. Amazing metal.
Fantastic. Okay, well, and I'm sure you'll have that on your wrist at some point when we go. Talking about what's on your wrist. What's on your wrist this week, Spencer?
Today, I bought the Yachtmaster in rose. The Yachtmaster 2 viewers, and if you can see that there.
Yeah, hold that. Your camera's straight in front of you here, actually. Yeah, you can just hold it up there. In fact, Jacob Kendall, good evening, Jacob. You spotted that lovely Yachtmaster you've got on.
Sure.
Fabulous. And Janilda, what are you wearing this week?
I'm wearing the same one, guys. I want to change.
Yeah, it must be really hard to wear a Hulk.
If any of the viewers want to buy Janilda a new watch,
I need a new watch, guys.
Now, I was asked a couple of times last week what watch I had on my wrist, and obviously, embarrassingly, I had no watch on my wrist. So, can you guess what's on my wrist this week?
I reckon it's the Apple again. Yes, the Apple Watch.
I have no idea.
No, I've gone old school. I have a 1994 Swatch. Okay. You can't buy it, Spencer. Not a chance. It's staying on my wrist. In fact, actually, if you could give me a watch battery, it doesn't even tell the time. It doesn't even work.
There are some mad collectors of certain swatches.
There are.
Yeah.
I made that very big mistake in my early 20s to run around every airport whenever I was going abroad and think, what's the latest collectible swatch? Because I thought it was quite a cheap way in, and I paid 20 quid here and 30 quid there. Yeah. And they were still worth 25 years later, 30 years later, 20 quid, 30
No,
quid.
there are some that are worth serious money.
Yeah, so some really, really big ones.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So in the office this week, you've had plenty of buyers and sellers. What have you been receiving in?
Just cross-section, sort of day dates, Hublots, Panerais.
Yeah.
Just a whole mixture. I mean, that's what we like. To be honest with you, whenever he calls a new Datejust 41, it becomes a bit samey. We like a nice variety.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of part exchanges this week. I feel like we've been selling but buying, not just straight buying.
Sure. Yeah.
It's been great.
A question's come in from Kelvin. Actually relates to a watch we had on last week, and I believe actually I answered this to somebody on Instagram. It could have actually been last week's chat on the channel. Kelvin wants to know, how did you guys value the Ed Sheeran?
We just looked around the marketplace, but there wasn't many comparable, and there was one in America that I think's a ridiculous price, and we were a lot cheaper. I think it was $30,000.
Probably,
yeah. Sorry, it was $30,000, which equates to somewhere over 20,000, and I thought that was a little bit expensive. And we spoke with our customer and got it quite a bit. I think it's on at 15,000.
Okay, so it's on at 15,000, Kelvin. If you fancy yourself an Ed Sheeran, sure,
give us a call.
Give us a call, yeah, it does. Carl, excuse my eyes and the screens of resource. Carl Beatty, great speaking to you guys today. Superb experience, thank you. So another satisfied customer. Now, Janilda, I came in this morning just after you opened the post, and you got all very excited about one of the watches that had come in. Should we show everybody the unboxing?
Let's have a look.
James, run that VT, please.
Hi guys, so I was opening the post this morning and I saw a quite big Cartier box and I thought it was something special, so I want to share it with you guys. Let's have a look. This is something that personally I've never seen before. I never had one in the office. There you go guys, that's a Cartier skeleton. It's a Santos, but what's special about this is the dial, obviously. Let's have a look at it. And the back as well is very, very special. It just came in, it's brand new as you can see with the stickers. Also, let's have a look what else we've got in the box. It's quite a special box, quite a nice one. I like the black. They used to be white, but now they're black. I think it's very nice. So it comes with a strap as well, leather strap, if needed. We can have, that's just a polishing cloth, but I think that's lovely as well. And an eyeglass, that's cute. And just some tools for the watch. At the bottom we have the paperwork. Again, they look very different from what we usually get on Cartiers. Even the shape, I think this is so cool. This is very cool. The shape is different, and usually they would come just with these booklets, but this has this black thing as well. So we can't show you the modular serial, but that's the original paper, and that's another booklet. There you go. That's lovely. It's complete with everything. So there you go, guys.
Now, that was an absolutely stunning watch. What do we think of that, Spencer?
Amazing. Oh, I love anything skeleton. Yeah, really, especially, where you see it's amazing how it works. There's like nothing there.
Yeah, you can see all the way through. What was really interesting is watching that video with you, because obviously you didn't see Janilda and I film that this morning, but the first thing you said is, "Oh, what's in the box? What else is in the box? What's that in the box?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Jacob is joining us from the US. He's one of our friends. Jacob has asked, I've asked Paul, if possible, will there be a live stream video coverage during the Watch People's weekend for those who can't attend?
Absolutely. Well, for Jacob, it'll be what sort of he's a number of hours behind.
Yeah, he's behind
I'm sure
us.
he's going to wake up just to follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we will be doing something like that you'll be able to see and we'll record 100%.
So I think from my point of view, because I'm going to help produce the sort of video content for the show, is that we will have cameras there for the entire 2 days, capturing everything. But I think there should be a moment where we do a YouTube live in front of a live studio audience, almost like a bit like Top Gear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, what we'll do is, Gav, like we've organised here, we'll put every day maybe a slot where we will speak, and people like Jacob who are abroad, that we can invite him for questions, or if he wants to see anything.
Yeah. Jacob, Spencer, maybe if you buy a couple of watches, he'll send a plane to get you. What about that? Red Shovel's asking, U-boat watches, thoughts? Janilda.
We get them, we have them.
U-boat watches.
U-boat.
Oh, yes, we do buy them. I think they're quite nice for the price.
For the price.
Yeah.
I mean, they always sell. They don't hang around long.
No.
Yeah. quite a good entry level piece that's interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna cover some other sort of watches today. Actually, a bit later on, we're gonna go for our top 5 under 10 grand, which we'll come to in a second. JG asks you, Spencer, do you think Rolex boxes are a bit of a letdown considering the money you spend? Do you think they will update them anytime soon? Even the Cartier boxes are much nicer.
Totally agree. I mean, if you went back a number of years, average price was maybe 5,000-7,000. Now the value of the watches, and if you buy a gold Daytona, you don't get anything a bit more special. And even just looking at that Cartier box, that there is a 25, list is 20, mid-20s. And I, having seen that box, is quite special. So you would expect in something a bit more expensive, gold, to have a different box.
Or sports watches.
Yeah,
I think they should get a new
it's all
box,
a bit
something
generic,
special.
isn't it? It's sort of more small, medium, large. Even platinum, which we sent, you just get a bigger green box. But there's nothing really special.
There's nothing special.
No.
But I have noticed with sort of some of this sort of other luxury brands, they really do go to town in their boxes, don't they? With big wooden cases and
Well, Patek Philippe.
The Patek piece is, the box is a work of art. It really is. It's you've seen that.
I have, I have.
And the wood veneer. But going back years ago, I mean, Rolex boxes used to be £80-100. Now people ask 150, 200. The Pateks are like 750 a box,
Sure.
£1,000 a box.
Sam Leno is saying, lovely how you paired the Avengers theme with the watch. Now, that's very interesting. So we did actually have a different theme tune when we started. It was horrendous. It wasn't Spencer singing That Watch Guy London, but we had a few comments and people thought it was Spencer singing. And actually, one of my favourite pieces of music was from the Avengers. So it was Michael, and I'll take total responsibility for that. James says the Omega boxes are pretty special.
Yeah, they're very nice. Yeah, and they do, again, I feel it's something Rolex should do. They do something special for like the James Bond ones, the special. They give you the eyeglass. They give you something.
I mean, that Snoopy box was unbelievable.
That was you had the cushion with the eyeglass in. And actually, I've got Dark Side of the Moon here. And that you get as something a bit different. I do think they could possibly have a few more.
Even to get some tools, it's nice to
well,
have
Panerais
something.
give you tools as well. Which is nice.
But do you think with Rolex, that's almost part of not being gimmicky? In a funny, they are just traditional. It's what they do.
Probably they want to stay classic
and you just get your green box with your cream interior.
Absolutely, but they could give a little bit more. They could, dress it up. Yeah. It's like with anything, it wouldn't cost them.
Yeah. Greggy Boy 76 makes a really good comment, actually. It's a similar thing with fragrances. Creed, which is a kind of Rolex of the perfume world, it's £275 for a 100ml bottle, and they come in a naff cheap cardboard box. Maybe there's something for the fact that you are paying for the goods you're buying and you don't really have to worry about the packaging.
Yeah. They know they're going to sell the watch anyway.
Things have moved on. I mean, Breitling used to have horrendous boxes, the Bakelite, which would collapse. Some of the earlier Cartier ones,
they're not
the white
great.
ones, they're not great. The leatherette comes off. I think as time's moved on, it's giving a bit back. Let someone see something a little bit more special.
Now, this week, as in every week, we put out to our Instagram followers for some questions to come in. And here's what we have. Dan J. Jones 1991 wants to know, maybe from Janilda, thoughts on the chocolate day date.
I personally
should come up on screen.
Love it. I love the chocolate dial, to be honest, on everything, even on the Yachtmaster. I really like it. I think it's a nice.
What's your thoughts on that, Spence?
It's a great watch, but chocolate and rose just go hand in hand always.
And is that something you see a lot of?
I think we had one, didn't we? We sold one earlier in the month.
I wouldn't say a lot though.
No,
not a lot.
It's not, I mean,
we get some in stock.
It's an expensive piece. You don't get loads of them, but when we do get them, they sell. Absolutely,
they sell. It's one that comes in and goes out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Number 2, Prabs 91. Will my white dial Patek 5711 ever hit £100,000? Now that the olive is exchanging for 250,000.
Quite possibly. I mean, it is possible.
I see that happening. Yes, yes, definitely.
You do?
I do think so.
What is it about the Pateks that make them so sought after?
It's economics. It's people chasing. Too many people want. They've seen the rise. Rolex is like the Batgirls that are 7 or 8 are changing hands at 16. These Pateks are double and triple. I mean, there was talk the new 5990, that the first one in the States sold $500,000.
$500,000.
Which is just shy of £400,000 for a watch that lists £87,000.
And is that because it's a more premium brand to other watches, or is it just the flavour of the year?
It's just flavour of the month. It's just first come out. People want it. You can't get it. Everyone's chasing. And apparently they settled down to 400,000, which is still 300,000.
That's good news. We can just take
Like
out a mortgage for
I
that
mean,
then, Janilda.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I think I'd rather have a house. Let's go to our next question. This is from London_Wino. That could be your wife, Spence. What are your thoughts on the market for Rolex or Daytonas?
Again, these are something that always sold under list, and they're going over. They're sought after. People want them.
Is it every Daytona at the moment, Janilda, that's sort of creeping up in terms of pricing?
Absolutely. Stainless steel, white gold, yellow gold, bimetal, all of them. There's not really... maybe stainless steel a little bit more popular, but still...
The steel are up at... Yeah, the reason why they're more popular, they're a bit more affordable.
Correct.
They're just... Again, I had a conversation today with someone, and they were saying, the steel Daytona at 28, 30,000 now. It's a fortune, but compared to a platinum piece at 100,000 and the golds at 50s, the green's like 60,000 now.
Well, green is the new everything, isn't it? I mean, you can make anything in green now,
and
it seems to stick the price up. Let's move on to the next question. British watch guy, no relation to you, Spence. What watch do you think Rolex will never discontinue?
Everything will be discontinued eventually or superseded.
So you think every Rolex will eventually be discontinued?
Well, what I've put out to the viewers is tell me what hasn't been discontinued or superseded with a new model.
With a new model, okay. So they've never stopped making like one.
Well, they've
one strand of the
exactly.
watch.
You had the 18038 day-date, then the 18238, 118.
So it's an incarnation of the same watch.
Yeah, they just
update the watch.
They just update the watch, but nothing from the 90s is still in production today, to my knowledge. Stand to be corrected.
Just a gram too many. We won't ask what the gram is of. He wants to know the story from the loft in Burnt Oak, Breitling in its travel case.
Wow.
Just to explain to the viewers, Spencer used to, before he was in Radlett, he used to have a store, a very big store, in Burnt Oak in London.
It was the pawnbrokers in Burnt Oak. I don't know who this is, but I do remember there being... We had a loft where we just put empty boxes, and when clearing out and bringing everything down, vaguely remember there was a box, a Breitling box, and in there was a watch. Yeah.
That's like going into a jacket and finding a £50 note about 6 years later.
No, that was even better at the time. It should never have been there. It shouldn't have been there, but it was.
Cross 3081. If you could choose a Rolex release for 2022, what would it be? Janilda, let's try you on that. A Rolex release of 2022. What do you think?
I would probably think, I know that maybe, like Spencer said so many times, he would put the value on the white gold down, but I would love to see a stainless steel Daytona with the green dial.
Stainless steel.
We're back to green again, aren't we?
I'm just obsessed with green, you can tell.
What about for you, Spence?
I think they're going to bring out some more ceramics.
Probably.
Yeah, I think you'll see ceramic in more models. One of the things I was speaking with Paul about a little while back, when you configure a car, you decide on the finishes, the piano black, the carbon, the grey leather, the beige leather. It'll be great, and it'll be they could do it. That if you had a standard, not a standard watch, if you picked just a few flexes, I mean, we all know that you can have dials, and just going back to your thing you mentioned, on a steel watch you have a black or a white dial. You've got to move into the white gold or yellow gold to get the dial. Okay, so one of the things I would say to people is, if I was running or marketing the company, on the gold, give you the option of a gold bezel or a ceramic bezel, so it can be a different look.
Yeah.
And obviously you take it in, it'd have to be pressure checked to have it changed, but on a £30,000, it wouldn't be a fortune. You could have two bezels at 1,500, 2,000, which would be a totally different look. So I just think a few different tweaks would make
customization
it
in
really
a kind. Yeah. I think it's something really sensible. Guys, I will get to your questions. I can see them all queuing up here on our chat. Do keep them coming, and we are going to get to them in just a couple of minutes. Pete Smith, 1176. Will the Explorer 2 carry on increasing in value?
Well,
sky's the limit at the moment for Rolex.
It's at levels that it's never been at before, and it was never that desirable. The minute it's discontinued, wow, that's it. And this was a piece they were saying a ceramic bezel, and which, as we know, we've got the 36 mil, and we've got the bimetal coming.
What's that currently trading at with you guys?
I think it's about 10,000-12,000.
Yeah.
But they're never anywhere near that.
Okay, DJDC81. Do you rate Bremont?
Do I rate Bremont? Again, at the price point, they never hang around for long.
No,
we always sell them. I mean, yeah.
We buy them.
And
so
they're a good
one,
brand.
guys.
And this is the thing with a lot of things, which we've always mentioned. The Amigas, the Bremonts, the Tudors, all at sort of 2,000 to 5,000. They're great pieces and well put together.
Great watches. T_M184. Could you see Rolex releasing a new Hulk in years to come, like the new Batman?
New Hulk. New Hulk, like the new Batman. So what do you mean by that? As in the bracelet?
Well,
Jubilee bracelet?
I didn't ask the question. I'm just reading it out. I'm assuming means Jubilee bracelet. But then Hulk was on a Jubilee, wasn't it?
No, it's not.
No. Well, what I'd say is...
Well, hold on a second. The new Batman is...
The new Batman is back on the Oyster.
On the Oyster.
So it was
That's
Oyster,
what I'm saying.
It went back to Jubilee and now it's back on the Oyster.
Yeah.
The Hulk. Could they do a submarine on Jubilee? Absolutely. They could do.
It's all about the green.
It's something that we've never seen, but...
One of our prolific question people, Distant Rooster, welcome back again. What year do you predict they will release a new day date? Which I think was launched in 1956, but a new day date, when do you predict?
Well, we've sort of, again, couldn't tell you the exact dates. We've had like the 41 and now we're back at the 40. It's a question people ask me quite a lot. I think we're going slightly smaller now because we've seen from the 39 they've gone to the 36.
Yeah.
I think people are thinking maybe you don't need something quite as big. I mean,
especially if it's yellow gold or white gold, you don't want it to.
So I'm not sure there's much in the change, and I don't think it will change that much because if you look back at like a late 80s, 90s day date, not much has changed.
No, they're very similar.
If you're really good at predictions, Spencer, perhaps next time you can tell me when Leicester are going to win the FA Cup so we can all have a bet on that.
It's going to be 2 days ago, actually.
Oh, well done. Okay, here's a good one. I can't even pronounce the name, so I'm not even going to try because I'm just assuming it's letters put together. P.O. Barstril. Your biggest watch mistake?
My biggest? There's been loads. I mean...
Because the people maybe just assume that everything's just a bed of roses.
Where do
I
begin? I've had several things that I've sort of bought or something that's been wrong. I do remember there was a number of years ago where we bought a Paul Newman and found out the watch was fake.
Well done.
Wasn't great. But
you were abroad in a show, weren't you?
I was abroad.
You got excited.
But then the great thing was, it was only a matter of hours afterwards where someone came in to sell me another one. I said, look, these are very common these days. And we bought another one. So out of the two, it all worked out in the end. But
so you bought two, sold one, threw one in the bin, and you ended up scratching.
Broke even. Well, exactly.
That's not the worst mistake in the world to make then. Okay. Skin_past_bone. Any tips for an aspiring watch dealer? I think we talked about this before, actually.
Well, yeah. You just got to be honest, answer your phone, get back to people, do what you're going to do, and make sure. The most important thing that we find is trust. Is paying people, and that's like without question.
Yeah. Honesty and integrity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last question on this round is from Rowley Electrical. Opinion on the Date 40 in Everose with green dial prices for the future. Everyone wants predictions from you, Spencer. You're some sort of guru.
They're just going up.
On the screen there.
They're just going up. All of these green. I mean, as I say, it was only at Christmas where I sold the green Daytona at 45,000.
But they're going for the same money at the moment.
Yeah, the green. I mean, I haven't had a green for a while, but anything green, like anything blue in the sports, like the Batmans, they're just sought after.
Yeah. Now, as part of my research for your weekly show, I have to watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of the other channels. And somebody's just popped up with a fantastic question that I always scratch my head and think, that's probably... I'm going to read it out to you. V for Victor wants to know, how is it possible for some of the YouTube guys, especially in the USA, to be able to get some of the hardest watches in the market, the pieces ADs tell us 5 years waiting list on? How do you get watches?
I don't know the answer.
Don't know
How
the
do I
answer.
get watches? From customers who phone me up. I mean, we don't get anything from ADs. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world
Yeah.
of how they do things. I really don't know.
Because I was watching a channel the other day, Gentleman Timepiece?
Timepiece, gentlemen.
That was close,
Yep.
wasn't I? Chose a notice I take of the name. Anthony.
Anthony
And
Ferrier.
it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. It's very, very different to the stuff we see here. It's quite brash, but it's fun. And they had, and only because I'm a big Marvel fan, they had the
new APs.
The AP Panther, which I wouldn't have thought anybody in the world is actually getting one, and whether a customer sent it to them but it seems like that's kind of like, where do they get them from?
Yeah, as I say, I have no idea. I really
Connections. Asif Goldmine, great stream. Quick question: what's a better investment, a Patek 5167 or a steel ceramic Daytona?
Both of them.
Ooh,
They're both great. Personally, I think 516. I see more Daytonas than I do Patek 5167s.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So possibly the 5167.
Juan asks, I have an old solid gold Amiga Geneve. A couple of dealers offered me its weight in gold twice. Is that a normal offer?
With some of these pieces now, you got to remember, 9-carat gold for a number of years was £2.50, £3 a gram. It's now £14, £15 a gram. So it's gone up 5 times. So at times, pieces their gold weight is more than their watch value.
Yeah.
So that's why, because people can't see them. The gold in the watch is too much money.
Right. Okay. So that makes up.
So it's gone up 5 times in the gold value, whereas they're just not that in fashion. That may well happen. We see this in certain watches. Another watch like that is an Ebel. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I don't
Ebel.
see many of those around anymore.
Because again, the value in the gold, people would scrap them.
I want to give a shout out actually really quickly because we've been getting involved, haven't we, with a Facebook group. Mark Bourne, who's a great friend of this channel. We've been having a lot of fun with all the friends on his group. So a big shout out to the Rolex group on Facebook, where we've been doing a little bit of posting, and it's been great asking questions of everybody in there. I asked a question actually last night to the group, and there's now 35,000 members on there. And it's growing exponentially. I asked them, what watch are they waiting for from their ADs? And boom, in comes the list.
How many hits?
I've never had so many people reply to a post. I mean, when I post a watch up or one of our watches, and it's all very lovely, and you get a nice watch, and here's mine. But actually, the lists of people that are waiting, and then the comedy jokes that,
Sure.
most people think they're going to be
Gary
dead
and
before
I
they
have
get
a
one.
similar thing. I mean, a couple of customers who I want to give a shout out. A gentleman called Ian from Leeds, Kenny from Watford. Everyone I speak to looks at me and mentions the bikes, and me and Paul Thorpe. Everyone seems to have a bike, Gav. All
Really?
people, a number of the customers who call me have motorbikes or cars or dogs.
Or dogs?
Yeah. Everyone's got dogs.
There's always something to talk about with
exactly.
our customers. We don't want to
and then
just
eventually we move on to
mention
watches.
the watch and that's it. We like to just have a nice conversation.
Yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun with the Rolex group, and it's something that we're actively posting on, and it's really great to see all the members there. And Mark's doing a great job with that.
So that's gone huge. I mean, it was
when,
half of that.
When Mark came on the show, I mean, we haven't been going that long actually. We've been going 13, 14 weeks. When he was on our first show,
when were we? Early Feb.
Start of Feb.
Yeah.
I think we started March, weren't we? March, April. Start of Feb. Mark was on our first show, and Mark said he's been at it for 2 years, and he had 10,000 members, and it was all great. And then he came on your show, and I'm not claiming anything for you, but Mark now has 35,000 members of this group. So, guys, if you're looking to subscribe to a great Facebook group. It's the Rolex group on Facebook. General Wombo, good evening. Sorry I'm late. Wow, yeah,
No
late to the
worries.
party. We're going to come back to your question in a second, otherwise I'll lose where I am. Soulboy61, Spencer, wants to know, which Patek would you go for as a sprat to catch a mackerel?
I don't think it'll be your choice. You'll go into a Patek dealer and they'll say, you've got to buy this. It'll be probably a diamond set ladies that they'll make them buy. That's what I'm hearing people have got to buy. There's some around 20,000 that you've got to buy in order to move along. But the other thing is the complications. The complications all cost you money, as in you'll buy them and they're not quite worth the money.
Right.
In order to get onto the Nautilus or one
The
of the
Aquanauts. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's more expensive in price, actually, the Aquanaut or the Nautilus? What are they? Which one sort of supersedes which?
The Nautilus.
The Nautilus.
I mean, there's one, I can't remember, I'm not as up to date on the references on the Aquanaut. Maybe one of the viewers can mention, Gavin, where it's got the black or the orange strap and it's got the orange handles.
I love that watch.
It's £100,000 watch.
Yeah. I sat at dinner with somebody about 6 weeks ago, and he pulled up his arm, and I just saw this one. I thought that was absolutely. I asked him to take off so I could have a little look, but it was incredible.
But I'm not sure on the retail. I think it's half of that.
I offered to swap my swatch,
and
he wasn't having
No
it.
luck.
He literally wasn't having it. General Wombo, we're going to get to you. Good evening, sir. Sorry I'm late. What do you think is going to happen to the Air King? The new Air King doesn't seem to have found favour with the masses.
Yeah, that's the 1169 double. Agreed. Hasn't been
Very
quiet.
popular.
It's been quiet.
No.
It's been quiet. I don't think it's a bad watch, but it's not.
And the Air King's sort of the entry level.
Yeah.
Rolex.
Well, it is,
right?
but you've also got the OPs now, the Oyster Perpetuals.
Yeah.
Which years ago, the Air King was the same as an Oyster Perpetual,
Yeah.
non-date. But yeah, I think that's something in the next couple of years is due a change or something to happen.
Yeah.
They've got to change something.
And General Wombo also comments, Janilda, are you wearing a Hulk again?
Again, guys, same one.
Yeah, okay, we need to sort that out for
I'll
next
change
week.
something next
Which
week.
other watches do you both have in your personal collections?
Well,
Let's start with you, Spencer.
If you look on the BQ Watches site,
There's
that's my-
350.
All of them.
I think there's about 420 on there at the moment. And what's happening is we're selling things, we can't get them photographed and listed quick enough. But there's about 400 on the site.
Okay, so we'll class that as your personal
Yeah, we'll call that,
collections between the two of you. Okay, anytime you want to trade me up for my swatch, I'm all
Or I'll
in.
get you a new swatch. Yeah,
I'm all. Oh, I could have a 2021 swatch. You're absolutely right. At least it'll work. But I'll take the free battery. Craig Froud. I want the Yachtmaster 116622, but finding them difficult to get hold of in the used market. Do you get them in often?
Is that with the blue dial or the...
Well, you're asking me. I'm going to ask now. Is that with the blue dial? You can answer
the
down
blue
again below.
or the platinum?
The blue-
We do get them.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
there's
not impossible
that's the
to-
40mm one. We do have these.
The Aristocrat, love the podcast, Spencer, and love to see your channel grow so fast. That's from Rohan.
Thank
And then he says, what you think the prices will be like for Pepsi on Jubilee versus Pepsi on Oyster? I'm assuming the Oyster will be selling for more since it's new, but do you think they'll level out together?
I think there won't be much in it. I think it'll be a 50-50, 60-40, and I couldn't tell you which way. You know, because people are like the Batgirl. When it was announced, you had the Oyster. There was so many comments. It's Rolex's way of saying they've made a mistake. I don't think they have made a mistake, but it was an easy fix for them because really they've had to do nothing. They just produced new bracelets, and we'll bring a new model out.
Wow.
But it's not really
Craig's just replied saying either dial.
either.
Oh.
Yeah, we have those.
have them instead.
Yeah.
We have them.
Give us a call, Craig. They've got them. That's fabulous. Guys, keep your questions coming in. And of course, as Spencer will tell you at the end of every show, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you can see our ugly faces every single week without having to do
And the other
anything
thing,
at all.
Gav, if they want to see us in person, we've got...
Tell us, Spencer,
Okay.
as if
Go on,
nobody in the
Jim.
world knows what's happening.
Just in case you don't already know, on the 2nd and 3rd of July, we're going to be at the Red Lion to meet and greet everyone, to show them watches. If you want to come and see us, you want a part exchange, you just want to have a browse, have a beer, have a coffee, we're all going to be there with all the watches, all the stock, to show everything to everyone. And Paul Thorpe's going to be joining us as well.
Now, just on the subject of Paul Thorpe joining you, so just to update everybody on the old arm wrestle scenario, I know you've been doing a little bit of training now.
Yeah, we've been practicing.
You've been practicing, haven't you? So, Paul, mind your eye. Our man's been practicing. I know where my money is. And we're yet to sort out the forfeit, but I think we've kind of... this mankini thing keeps popping up. And one of the suggestions from the viewer that actually put it forward is that either you or Paul will present your show in your mankini.
As long as you're sitting down, he'll be all right.
You better get a tennis ball to stick down there, Spencer.
Guys, also don't forget to book it because we have quite a few people coming. There's a lot of people, so just go on our website and book the dates, please.
And also, I'd probably add to that because I know the guys have really been had a fantastic take up for the summer fair. It's obviously important to book your slots, but equally, if there's something you're thinking about bringing to trade in, drop the boys, through the Instagram, straight through to their WhatsApp, via email. Let us know what you're going to be bringing in because I think it's going to help for people to have guys to have an idea.
Sure.
I mean, you've got an excellent team down there. The whole of your team's going to be there.
Everyone's going to be there.
If you would have watched last week's episode, you would have sort of seen our meet the team scenario. There's a couple of people who weren't in, and they'll also be down there on the day. And General Wombo says, "I will be at your summer fair, by the way. Can't wait."
Okay, good. Looking forward to it.
See you
soon. Derek Fox, hi Spencer. What do you think of the Tudor Prince Tiger Woods edition? Now,
you'll have to update me.
I don't have that. Maybe I'll Google it in a second on my screen.
I'm not up to date on that, I'm afraid.
Let's have a look. Tudor. I'll get it up in a second because it's a bit too much to faff between screens. But we'll get back to you on that. Thanks for this is from the Aristocrat. Thanks. What a great name, by the way.
Aristocrat.
Yeah, Aristocrat. Like Aristocrat, but
okay,
yeah, wristwatch. Thanks for the answer. Another question for you. What's one watch that's considered a hot model that sells for over list that you look at and think it doesn't deserve to be selling over list? That's a goodie.
That's a very good question.
There's lots, I would imagine.
Well, there's not much that doesn't sell at over list, but I mean, you've got Datejust now.
Yeah.
For years, Datejust would be a 20-25% reduction.
Discount.
Again, everyone thought on the OPs they were a mistake, but the pinks, the yellows.
It's an interesting question, actually, that I saw yesterday on the Rolex group on Facebook. There are guys, obviously, who have their names down on the list for watches, and they don't really want to be scrambling around or they can't afford to. And then they look at maybe an entry level, like what's a decent starting point for them to maybe try and start on the ladder to trade up and maybe keep moving. What would you say is a really good starting point, perhaps, on a Rolex?
You can start with a Datejust, a bimetal Datejust, stainless steel.
Stainless. I mean, a 126-300 is still the polished bezel. That's thereabouts of £6,000.
Okay, James has just put up on the screen for us a Tudor Tiger Woods chronograph 798. It's green, so it's got to sell. That's actually quite nice.
I've never seen this piece.
No,
James, can we get that up on the main screen? We probably can't, can we? Oh, James says we can, so we'll probably get that up in a second.
I've never seen this piece.
Don't hold our breaths because he's not that good. But we'll see if we can get up. There we go.
It's quite nice.
That is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen
No, I've never bought or sold one of those pieces, but I think it's a great watch.
We're going to come back to some of the questions in a second. Because
maybe ask him there, Gav, the price of that. I mean, I'd say it's probably in line with most of their...
Yeah, if anybody or any of our viewers know the price of that
I would guess at somewhere around £3,500, £4,000, £3,950.
Yeah.
We'll see if the answer pops up on here. Guys, we're going to do... we had a little exercise in the office, didn't we? Going through all your drawers and in your safe, and there's hundreds of watches. And we wanted to do our sort of top 5, not a top 5, but our favourite 5 under 10 grand. Do you want to bring up the watches,
Sure.
Spencer?
Yep.
So what we did, we went through Spencer's big vault and we picked out a bundle of watches that we quite like. We've each kind of picked some out and we're going to share them with you. And first up, number 1 on the list is a Rolex Datejust 41mm. Let's get that on screen.
Exactly what I mentioned. So this is a 126-300.
Yeah, that's a great watch to
With
start
the Wimbledon dial.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
It's under 10,000. It's lovely.
So that's the Wimbledon dial. That was first made in 1948. And that's a great piece.
Yeah.
What, the Datejust?
Yeah. Rolex are partner with the All England Club since 1978, and tennis has become a
The
key
Wimbledon.
facet in the Rolex universe, although it's not the official watch of Wimbledon. Just called a Wimbledon dial.
So what is it? AP? Audemars? Or you don't know?
Which?
You said the official watch of...
Oh, no. As in, it's not officially called. You know,
Oh, I
they
see.
title
They don't,
it. Yeah,
no.
because they used to do the clocks. They do the big clocks.
Well, I
don't they,
think
on those bases.
a lot of them wear day dates.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just. We're going to go back to that. I'm just going to pop this up on the screen. Hold on a second, everybody. Let's just pop that on there because obviously I have my screen turned off. James, if you can just flick to that, please.
Okay, so that's the piece
That's the
there.
piece.
Yeah, there's the piece.
It has the stickers as well. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. and
Beautiful, beautiful piece.
It is lovely. Let's move to our next one. Next on our list is the IWC Pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say, by the way, 7950 is the
7950,
Rolex
yes.
Datejust.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the price point.
There we go. There's that piece. I've always thought IWC is a brand that I absolutely love, but in terms of popularity with
It's not as much as...
no,
Thanks, James.
but in
Yeah.
terms of quality
Especially
of the piece,
this one. I
the
think it's
quality
a
of the
lovely,
watch
Yeah,
is
Let's have a little look. Let's pass it over.
it's a beautiful watch.
And you see quite a lot. I noticed.
that's
going,
ceramic, is it? I think
yeah,
that's the
going
black
through
ceramic.
your. It's beautiful, actually. Going through your drawers, you do have a few IWCs come in
Yeah.
and out, don't you?
Yeah.
It's really nice, actually. It's a lovely colour. So I just pass you back the swatch.
Sure. Yeah, go on then.
Thank you very much.
Go on, I'll put the battery in. You can have that.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to number 3. Actually, this is one of my favourites. I picked this one out. The Tudor Black Bay Chrono.
Yep. Well, this is the brand new one that's come out. That's
Okay, so
White
this was
dial.
introduced this year to mark 50 years of chronographs. And this
Absolutely.
one's a 41mm
This is
case.
the white, and the whites are. It's not white. It's sort of just off white. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful piece. And again, there's the black as well in that.
And
Yeah.
how much is that, Gab?
The Tudor Black Bay,
5.
There you go.
5,500.
5,500. So the IWC was 4,750.
Yeah.
I should really remember these things. That's really, really nice. Do you like that, Janilda?
That's very nice. I like
You
it.
could have the swatch for that one as well. Next on our list, this is a really interesting piece, actually.
Here's
The Amiga Speedmaster Apollo 17. Okay.
that came
This
in the other
is-
day.
Okay, it's a
Look at
rare
that
and
dial.
limited watch.
Look at that dial. It's absolutely
love the
stunning.
dial.
Okay, also called The Last Man on the Moon.
Moon.
Why do you think that is, Janilda?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
It was to celebrate the last man on the moon.
Okay. That's
Apollo
easy.
17.
The 40th anniversary there, Gav.
40th anniversary.
But
That was
the dial,
Eugene
I think-
Cernan,
I
who
think
was
it's
the
just-
last man on the moon. Actually, he
It's
went there
very
twice.
special. It's
The
with stickers,
detail
guys, so it's
on
brand
that
new.
is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece. That probably won't hang around for very long, will it?
No, it just came in, and I'm sure we're gonna sell it soon.
And the very last one. This one was picked by Hilda. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 31mm Tiffany Blue. Launched in 2020. Comes in, what, 3 sizes?
31. Well, there's 30, 31, 36, and 41.
41.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Oh.
is the 31. I think it's a
They do
very
some in the
lovely-
34 as
4,
well.
yes.
That's
yes.
like the date size, but not in those colours.
How much is this, Gav?
That's a really good question because guess who forgot to write it down on this piece of paper? I believe it
No
was
worries.
7 something.
Yeah, yeah.
7 something. Although
But
I have to tell you,
everything is
Spencer,
on our
7.9.
web 7.9.
7.9.
You can see it on our website. I think it's a great watch to start with. Under 10.
Let me have a little look.
Yeah.
I love that. I have to say, if you had this in my size, it's a bit small for me. But in my
We have
size,
it in your size.
I would definitely swap for my swatch. I'm just putting it out there again.
Okay.
I'll take any of your watches. for my
Gavin,
swatch.
can you give me your swatch, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hilda, as Gavin has made a point about his swatch, we're going to sort his battery out.
Guys,
And
this
I'm-
is a part exchange live. This
Okay.
is
Yeah,
what
this
we
is
do
a
in the
live
office.
part exchange.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
next week we need to bring the credit card machine, but we
Sure.
haven't got it today.
There you
I'm
go.
going to let Gavin wear
So
this.
we're gonna
now,
buy
this
this from you
Amiga
for-
is dark side. I personally think some of these Amigas are absolutely stunning.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and for the money, I mean,
Show the
think-
camera, Spence.
There we go.
This is the dark side of the moon,
that's
isn't
dark
it?
side of the moon. So it's black. You've also got the glass back on that as well. Yeah. Now, I think I'm going to let Gavin have this till I get his watch ready. I'm going to present this to Gavin.
Wow,
have
that's
a look at the detail on that.
I mean, it's absolutely stunning.
Again, I think the watch is £7,000. You know, it makes you think. Look at the detail.
It's got fabulous detail on the back. Obviously, I wasn't prepared for this beautiful surprise.
There we go.
And of course, everybody.
Don't worry,
I will be giving
viewers.
it back to him after the show.
Don't worry, viewers. We'll get the money back from him somewhere.
How much should we give him for his watch?
Well, I think we'll.
I
think he's got to pay us.
Pay you to take it away. That's
there we go.
Stunning. Doesn't tell the time.
No,
but it's really good. Oh, look, there's a text message coming in. That's fantastic. That's amazing.
We'll get that back to you next week.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Keep your questions coming in, everybody. Let's have a little look to where we are. Anis, your friend, Anis Patel.
Anis.
Hi.
When are we going to go a week without hearing from Anis? It doesn't happen.
Hey, Spencer, Gavin and Janilda. Hope you guys are all well. Sam Lino, apart from JLC and Cartier, what other square and rectangular watches do you recommend? Apart from JLC
I was
and
thinking
Cartier.
of the JLC Reverso.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking the Tag Monaco, the new green Tag Monaco.
We have one of those in the Tag. Hublot are sort of rectangular, but again, not square. Don't know, not that many.
No.
Not that many.
I'm
going to say, I don't know anything about watches, clearly, but that Tag Monaco green, whatever, flew off the shelf, and it was pretty special. Aaron Ozard says, have you guys started to receive the new Rolex releases? Which one seems to be coming through?
The Explorer 30. There's talk of the 36mm. People have called up, but we haven't.
You haven't actually got one
physically,
yet.
no.
I think people actually think you get them from Rolex.
Yeah,
that you're on the AD list somewhere.
They think we're
you are barred,
right?
right?
We are the
they
most
think Spencer
unpopular
sends me
people.
shopping,
Absolutely.
See, now you say you're unpopular, okay, but actually, I mean, this is my thinking on it. Having worked on your show now for 13 weeks, I really think that all these brands love the fact that there is a very strong secondary market and people dealing in all this stuff, because it only supports the legacy of their watches. Because if people want to trade up and move on, they need people. They need people who are trading.
Well, we're what help keep their market, although they don't want people to buy or sell watches or flip them or whatever. Absolutely, but we are really looked at as like non-existent. But like you say, we are important. But I do have a few ADs that I buy that again help them with their part exchanges.
I was going to say so you do have relationships, but
I've got relationships
they sell you watches
with ADs
customers bring in.
Absolutely, they have someone coming in to want to buy a new Daytona, sort of in the gold, or selling or buying a new day date, and they may have a 20-year-old day date that they want to sell us. And we give them a price, and they're very happy because that way they get the money immediately to put in their tills.
Yeah.
Here's a really interesting question, and now I've got to actually determine if the person who's goes under either I can't see because my eyes are so bad, either Go Ito or Go LTO, if it actually is them and is not your wife, Spencer.
Go on.
Good evening, guys. I have a challenge for you, Spencer. Are you able to take 2 solid weeks completely offline from your business and completely disconnected from the watch business world? Good question, Michelle.
What I'd say is it hasn't happened in probably the last 10 years. So
I think the max is 2 hours. Maybe you can take 2 hours.
I may go and get my hair cut for 20 minutes. Maybe that actually I'm lying. It takes 10. No.
But even then, he would text
He's
us.
never
Anything
taking a day off until he's put in a box, and even then he'll get out to get the PDQ machine out. General Wombo says rectangular or square. Bell and Ross.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's a
no,
statement.
Square.
That's
square.
a statement, not a question.
Bell and Ross, they do a lot of square watches.
I love square.
Okay.
And actually, the U-boat as well. U-boat do some
rounded too, but.
The Ristocat, it's not a fun question if it doesn't get you scratching your head. So here it is. Patek, Rolex and AP, one brand and all of their collections need to go. Which are you getting rid of personally? One brand and all of their collections need to go. So you've got AP, you've got Patek, you've got Rolex. All of the watches have to go.
If I have to, I'm gonna get rid of AP.
Ooh.
I'll keep Rolex and Patek.
Just one, it'd have to be. Yeah, Patek and Rolex got to be up.
They need to be there.
Yeah.
They need to be there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Amazing. Now, we've talked about the summer fair. We've covered that today. Guys, don't forget, if you are coming along, you have to pre-register. It's on the BQ Watches website. Make sure you get your name in, your time slots and everything booked up. If you are coming on public transport, Spencer, don't worry, has security for you as soon as you arrive at the station from the car park, so you can walk across nice and safely. I mean, it is quite a nice leafy green suburb, to be fair.
Gav, on that note, if anyone's concerned at all, we'll have mobile numbers to give out. If anyone wants to pull up, we'll do a meet and greet. They can get dropped off at the Red Lion, or we'll have valets to whatever's needed. But security,
you're going to take care of everybody.
Absolutely.
Now, just in terms of, before we run out of time for today, we got a special show lined up for next week. Neither of you know about it.
I do.
You do, don't you? You know one element of next week's show, but I've got a surprise for you next week, and I'm not going to tell you. You might want to see the questions. I've got something completely unique lined up for you, okay? Yeah, it's going to be like a would you buy, trade, or sell versus what I'm going to bring in against some of your watches. I'm going to ask you to bring in some very, very expensive watches, and I'm going to bring in some things and ask you, would you swap?
Okay.
Would you? And we'll see what works
we'll
out
see
value for that.
Okay.
Absolutely. We've got a very, very special guest who's coming on next week. I'm not going to reveal his name yet because he was actually supposed to be on tonight, but he unfortunately had to do a bit of filming elsewhere for the BBC. But he's joining us next week. He's got some very, very interesting
like
stories.
A real live Antiques Roadshow with no research time.
Yeah, basically. But that's one element. But we're bringing somebody into the show actually who's got some. He's met some unbelievably interesting people and their watches. Some really big Hollywood A-list stars, and he's going to be joining us next week, Janilda. Okay. So get your autograph book out.
Okay. That's interesting.
And Spencer, it's now that time of the evening where you have to say goodnight to everybody. And
really, it's gone that quick already.
That was quick.
Okay, guys, what can I say? It's over and out for this week. Looking forward to seeing you next week. And don't forget, hit the subscribe and register for the show if you want to come. And we'll see you next week.